Hello, everybody. I'm the Tameister, and welcome to Belmont, or at least what's left of it. This is a city that I built last year, and it's since gone corrupt, but I was able to load it up using the Save Our Saves mod. But the game doesn't actually work. I have to leave it paused, or else it starts crashing and glitching out and doing all sorts of weird stuff. So while I was exploring my abandoned city, I figured that I'd give you guys a little tour of it, because I don't know if the next time I try to load it up, if it's going to work at all. So I'm just going to start off by saying this is the biggest city I've ever built in City Skylines. So I'm just under 200,000 people. So even for the game standard, it's pretty huge. So I guess we'll start off by my downtown area. And one thing I should note is that I was heavily basing the city off of Montreal. So you can see that the city itself has kind of a similar shape to Montreal, as well as my highway layout. So you can see here it's similar to Montreal. Alright guys, so downtown Belmont. So first of all, you'll notice that there's a whole bunch of buildings missing. I'm assuming they've just gone off the Steam Workshop. But nevertheless, the city center still looks pretty good. So first of all, we have our central business district here with all your huge high-rise buildings. And if we get down to ground level here, the city's fully equipped with a subway system as well as bus networks and the like. So the city flows pretty good for its size. This was before I had the Prop Anarchy mod, so I couldn't get an extreme level of detail. But for what I had at the time, I think it's pretty decent. So we have our coastline here. I had downloaded some sea walls. They weren't actually included in the game, so you had to get them from the workshop. So yeah, overall I think it looks pretty good. As I stated a minute ago, I was really looking for that Montreal look, and I think I got it pretty close. I built this St. Catherine style street here. So you can see it's all medium rise buildings and older buildings, and so you get your bars and your clubs and your little shops, things like that. So I think I got the look of it pretty close to the real thing. If we move on over in this area here, you get your medium rise apartment complexes and your older buildings, and then in this area you get your main sunken highway right through the middle of downtown. So this, if you're familiar with Montreal, this is similar to the Décarie highway. So yeah, this is probably one of the most important roads in the city because it carries traffic from my northern suburbs and it brings it right down to the city center. So this highway would get pretty clogged up. I also built a tunnel under downtown here, and it runs under the river and pops up on our other side here in my industrial complex, which I haven't completed yet. And then the highway leads out of the city this way here. So if we move over here, I had built a university, although half of it is missing now. But yeah, and in and around the university, I built these kind of old apartment neighborhoods. So if you go to Boston or New York or any old North American city, you'll notice that there's neighborhoods upon neighborhoods of these style buildings here. So pretty much this whole area here around downtown, that's what you'll find. Just older apartments and buildings. So everybody's pretty crammed in here. But it adds to that realism aspect. So yeah, I guess we'll move on to a little north. So I built this interchange here. This is probably the most important interchange in the city because it merges my east to west highway and my north to south highway. So this interchange would get pretty busy. And it's probably the biggest interchange I've ever built. So this, I built it from scratch. I didn't download it from the workplace. So yeah, from the workshop rather. If we move, actually let's go over here. So although half my buildings are missing, this section right here, you'll notice that it's a little different from my city center. Here you'll find more of like 50s, 60s, and 70s style buildings. So, you know, after the baby boom This is the type of neighborhood that you would find. So all like houses such as this style here. It kind of sucks that half of them are missing. It kind of kills the neighborhood. And if we move on the other side of our river here, you'll notice that we have our modern suburbs. So then you get your newer style houses. And you'll also notice that there's no longer any grids. For our road layout, it's all squiggly lines and wavy roads. That's kind of what people are going for these days, I guess. So yeah, there's a huge section here that I haven't completed, and I was probably going to fill it up with these type of suburbs here. In this section we have our airport. This is my international airport. It's never been completed, but my terminal area is. So anyways, I've built a pick up and drop off section here. I got my hotels, parking garages, and general parking. So I kind of like the look of it. It's pretty generic, nothing too special about it. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, if we move on to the western tip of the city, is my Mont Royal style park. So similar to the real park in Montreal, it's basically just a big hill with trees on it, and you have walking trails as well as a scenic road that goes right through the middle of it. And over here we have our biosphere, similar to the real one in Montreal. So moving on to this side, we have our busy industrial port. As you can see, there's a lot of boat traffic, and it's pretty big. Over in this corner, I have my slightly modified airport. So it's just a municipal airport, and I've elongated the runways and added a couple taxiways. I've never got around to actually completing this little neighborhood here. Over here is one of the most important interchanges in the city because it merges my north to south highway with my east to west central highway here. So I've actually based this interchange on the real Highway 40 and Highway 15 interchange in Montreal. If we go in this little neighborhood here, we have, similar to the real Highway 15, you get a tunnel which goes under a cathedral as well as a little park. So I based this little tunnel upon that. Over here we have our Metropolitan Highway. So it's basically just an elevated highway running east to west along the entire length of the city. And I have my train network running along the highway. And here's my main train terminal here. So I was never a huge train guy in the game. I mostly focus on my road networks. But this city is fully equipped with fully functional subway systems as well as a bus network. So for its size, the city flows really well. What else can I show you guys? So throughout the whole video, I actually had to keep it in cinematic mode or else the game would start to glitch out and crash. But I got it to work in building mode, so I figured I'd show you guys my transportation network. So if we zoom in to my downtown, first of all, you can see half of my buildings are being flooded. I don't know why. But you can see all these green dots here. Those are subway stations. So I have my red line here. It goes from north to south, and it covers my university area and goes into my northern suburbs. And it all leads all the way back to my downtown. And you can see that I have a blue line, and that goes from east to west. So it covers the whole coastline here, and it also covers my northern downtown area. So it covers the university and all that. I guess I didn't build anything going to the airport, although I do. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, that's what it does. There. No. Yeah, I might not be able to show you guys. Oh, okay. So yeah, I have a bus network going to my airport, but no subways. I do have a pink line going here to my southern suburbs and my industrial complex. So that's pretty much it for subways. And I have an extensive bus network, so it pretty much goes throughout the entire city. So as I stated earlier, the city flows really well for its size. So as you can see, the population has gone down to about 150,000. I'm assuming that's because half of my buildings are missing. So yeah, I guess I'll show you my traffic to prove that the city flows quite nicely. So there's very few red roads. So you can see here and there, you know, there's some highway exits that are red, but overall it's not too bad for the size of the city. Most industrial sections are really jammed up, so as you can see, it's not too bad. So you can really see how adding transportation networks to your city can help your traffic. A lot of people seem to have issues with traffic, so that's one way to mitigate it. Alright guys, well that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I didn't want it to go on for too long, and I mean half the city's missing anyways, but you still got to see most of the best parts of Belmont. If you'd still like to see more of Belmont, you guys can check out my Freeway Tim channel where I feature most of the highways running through the city. And if you'd still like to see more, I'll include a link in the description to a photo album of the city. So you can see its growth from its early stages up until it just didn't work anymore. So yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel for more content. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.